Hi, I am Roop X, founder director of A&I Magazine Hyderabad. For today's podcast session, we have interior designer Deepti from Elegant Designer. Hi Deepti, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Thank you for having me, first of all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking out time and being here. So, how is life? How is work going on?
Absolutely fine. Absolutely good. God has been great. Life has been treating me really good these days. So, pretty happy.
As an interior designer, how is your journey going on and how it started?
Uh, Actually, I started with very basic project. There's a person who wanted to rent out his flat. So, I've done very minimum woodwork for him. And it was a very like minimum sort of project which I took up. And from there, basically this is my passion. And when you take your passion as your profession, then it really
Then the deliverables are great.
yeah. So from there I started, and then I started doing friends projects, unke ghar ke projects, and I started doing relatives project. And then now slowly then people started approaching me. And now today I'm here.
It's been almost 7 years you're in.
It's 7.5 years.
That's great. So nice. Why you think that people should opt for interior designer to design their space?
I love this question. See, there are n number of reasons why people should hire a designer. Nowadays there's so many things available on internet. So people probably, they copy paste and they say that we want this sort of, one particular furniture in their house, or I want my kitchen to look like this, or my wardrobe to like this. Actually, there are a lot of other elements as well involved when you see a picture. Like for example, if you see a kitchen, there's a kitchen, somebody you like one picture which is of kitchen. So kitchen is granite, the backsplash tiles, the false ceiling, the lights. These other elements are involved in that Google pick. So when you ask me to design a kitchen like that, so you need to you need to gather all those elements and then make that kitchen. वो वैसा नहीं होता है. So it does not happen like this. You don't want to your granite is suppose black, but you want to go with some brown or the green color. It is not going to go with that particular granite. So I think a designer helps you out in n number of things. Firstly, dimension. Secondly, maximum utilization of space. And also they give you the suggestions that the creativity, they put up the creativity at their best. This is what it is going to look. They have some color sense. If there's a difference between a skilled carpenter and a designer. You ask a skilled carpenter, then I want this laminate to put up on my wardrobe. He's just going to get the laminate and paste it. So me as a designer, probably I'll give you a suggestion that this may not look good. So this is a difference between a designer and a carpenter. So designer is hired basically to make your house beautiful, and a beautiful house not only is going to look good, it also increases the value of your property. Like if your house is beautifully done, interiors are done nicely, and tomorrow you want to sell that house, that interior value is going to count when you're going to sell that. So I think that's the reason you should hire a designer and get it professionally done.
You mean designer will take the space in by aesthetics and functionality hand by hand?
Yeah, functionality, aesthetic, space, everything, they take care of these many things, and there's contractor. Now when you're designing a house or a commercial project, say suppose, there are n number of vendors involved in a project. There's a plumber, electrician, painters. So they're going to ask 10,000 questions to you. We are going to answer them basically. So we are going to, probably take out all the stress of which is there on that plate. So we do take that responsibility of designing the entire house from end to end. So I think, yeah, that's the reason the designers are important, and you should hire a professional designer if you can afford if you want to have a beautifully housed and professional touches needed.
Earlier, now things are changing in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is growing tremendously.
Very much.
Yeah. Before 2014, things were different when it comes to our fraternity. Profession of architects, interiors were different. There were very few. Now the things have changed a lot in Hyderabad.
Yes. I think Hyderabad, if you ask me, I've been in Hyderabad for almost 12 years now. So every nick and corner, what I see is the buildings, the apartment, the gated community, the villas. So we as a designer have a lot of scope to put up our creativity everywhere, including the commercial projects, be it residential or whatever. So I feel, yeah, it's good to have those kind of, this is a vast topic. It's never ending. You keep learning. So it's great. It's actually great to have a number of designers around, and I think you get to learn from the designers. I mean, there are very good designers all over our country. So you follow them. They inspire you to do more and more good work. So I think it's good to have more and more designers coming up.
And just sometime before, when we were discussing before this podcast session, I came to know that you have done your diploma course from NIFD and you have directly jumped into the profession without internship. So that's really great. You have a good grasping power, I can say that, because it's a tough industry to work in. Whenever you're doing a project, hundreds of things are involved into it.
Certainly. Precisely, it is. I also had as any other business, I also had my ups and downs.
Definitely, it's a part and parcel.
Yeah, it's a part and parcel. People have even asked me ki why designer? Hum to Google se copy paste karenge. What are you going to do? You're just going to copy paste it. So these kind of questions I have answered initial when I had started. And but then I think over the period you come to a point where you understand your capabilities, your value, and you are going to add up the value of that property which you're going to design. So I think hurdles, I think.
Starting problem what you have faced, now your work is answering.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, I think criticism is, at times it's important.
100% is there. Because as you said sometime before, that you're doing this out of passion. Yes. So passion को अगर criticism मिलेगा तो हम और ज़्यादा deliver करने का try करते हैं.
Actually, and criticism teaches you a lot than the appreciation. So I think, and if you're criticized, I think you're doing something you're doing which you're being criticized. Bring it on. I'm okay with criticism.
No, it's always nice. We need to accept everything, and if someone is criticizing us, it's what do you say that हमारा और interest आता है कि हमने वहाँ गलत किया है. We'll see to it कि next side पे repeat ना हो करके.
We make sure that those
same mistakes are not repeated.
Mistakes are not repeated, and the next project we make sure that everything goes smooth. And when it comes to criticism, I think it should be taken as a pinch of salt. And a person like Modi has been criticized. We are like a normal business people.
That's a good. You are on a very you have a very positive thinking. That's so nice. So when it comes to designing the space, what you are more comfortable with, residential space or commercial?
I'm more into residential. So I really love designing kitchens and the wardrobe, the bedrooms, and especially I love designing kids room. So you can put a lot of creativity in kids room. The color combination, you can play with colors. When it comes to the drawing area or the master bedroom or the guest room, I think you need to be little subtle in those terms. But when it comes to like an infant ka jab aap room design karte ho, or even a teenager room has been designed, I think you can play with colors. So I think I really love designing those kind of projects. Residential is what I like doing more.
More of residential. So being into this industry past 7 years, what was your biggest challenge while doing the project? Generally you have completed good amount of projects. So ऐसा कोई project आप हमारे के साथ में discuss करना चाहेंगे that can give a good message to the aspiring designers?
The challenge is, like I say, it's everyday challenge. Every project is challenging. So I think you need to keep patience. You should have a very calm, composed sort of brain when you're into this field. The reason being, a lot of things are involved. Like for example, if I give you a designing as a client, he is going to take some time to approve the designing, or probably he's going to change the designing. So you should be clear in your terms that you can probably have 1 or 2 changes, and after you give your 3D design, nothing can be changed. So yeah, these kind of challenges I have faced initially, where the designing is ready and the lamination is put up, the veneer is put up, and then the client comes to me and say it's not looking good. So then it's like we had मतलब we already told you कि ये अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, but आजकल क्या हो रहा है ना, everybody is becoming a designer. I think there where the professional designers are needed. So these kind of challenges, I think to avoid this challenges, what is needed is a 3D designing, utmost important, which gives you a clarification of the color combination of every damn furniture. And the 2D designing. 2D is all about the measurements. So freeze on that. You need to freeze it on. You need to get a signature of a client that this is what is being approved by you and this is going to look good. Approved by a designer as well. It's easy then. It's easy to get your project on time, and it also goes in a smooth way.
Being a female, how tough it is for you to execute the sites, because you need to deal with the unskilled labor and make them understand everything. You have a timelines, you have to meet the timelines, you have a pressure from the client, you need to have a pressure from your vendors. So how do you deal with this situation?
Yes, so I think I have a team now. Past initially, yeah, I did had an issue because the labor class is a class where the only motivation is money. So you pay them and they are motivated. You cannot delay the payment of labor class people. You probably have to take your payment at the end. That is very important. So I think you pay them nicely, and before they ask, you pay them. You need to understand their personal on their personal side also. I think I understand their issues. If anything extra is needed or any help is needed, I think I'm there to help them out. So if you help those people, they're really there to help you out. They're really there to, you say that morning 8 बजे आना है, जो बंदा 10 बजे भी उठता है वो 8 बजे आ जाएगा, because you're there to help him out.
You mean your approach should be?
Yeah, approach should be very positive. You understand them, you understand their limitations as well, understand their mentality, and I think the most important is you pay them nicely, pay on time. That's important, very important. But I have a team now. I have my painters, carpenters, vendors. You need to have a very good vendors if you want to have a beautiful or a good design. Vendors nowadays, everything is available on internet. So vendors का अच्छा vendors का होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. So if you have that, I think everything is online, on good.
Falls on a proper place. So you are able to meet the timelines with your team and with your vendor list.
Yes, I think I tell them that you freeze on the designing, and then once this is approved, then we go on.
Surely. And if you get a chance to do something for this industry, means architects, interiors industry, आप क्या करोगे?
Okay, good question.
आप क्या करना चाहोगे?
Okay, I think there are a lot of designers these days. I see even they are like not having a professional degree, but they are. If you have a good kind of sense of color aesthetics, या फिर कुछ आपको वैसा अगर आपको अच्छा लगता है, there are a lot of people who have this kind of talent. So I think they are not, they don't get an opportunity to be there on board. उनको projects नहीं मिलते, और even today, I also, for me also, I go to people and I take my profile and say that this is what I'm doing and I want work. There's nothing ashamed to ask for a work. So I think ये जो लोग हैं जो startup कर रहे हैं, जो काफ़ी interest दिखाते हैं designing में, I would like to give, make a team की you take this project, or start with this small project, because interior designing में लोगों को लगता है कि it's a very simple thing, but एक अच्छा design करने के लिए there are n number of people involved, and apart from designing, the management skill is also important. So I would actually want to, in future, if I get a chance, I would actually get that little bit of training to them कि how to manage management कैसे करना है, लोगों को labor को कैसे handle करना है. So I think, yeah, I would actually, if given a chance, if I can do something, I would do for the upcoming designers, जो नए startup है उनका.
You will motivate them, guide them how to deal. That's good. That's nice. That's the need of our, because there are many designers who doesn't get platform, who doesn't have a chance to get trained, who doesn't. Yeah, that's very true. And how do you find Hyderabad?
Oh, it's a beautiful city. I've been in Hyderabad for almost 13 years now. I love the vibe of Hyderabad. The nightlife is amazing. The new pubs which has been come up in financial districts are amazing. At the same time,
The designing,
the designing is amazing. And as a designer, you walk into a restaurant, you walk into a temple, you walk into any damn thing, the first thing you say is a designing. So I really like Hyderabad in that way. It's really growing. It's a developed city. Anyways, it was a developed city, but आजकल तो जो भी मैं देखती हूँ बहुत ही it's amazing. The food is absolutely amazing.
And how do you find our magazine, A&I Hyderabad? Few words for the magazine.
So it's very good. The kind of job you people are doing is commendable. It's really commendable. You've been giving chances to a designer like me who's never given any sort of, a platform for me to have my say. So I think I really appreciate the kind of job you're doing. And I've been getting this magazines editions every quarterly. I really appreciate. And I also see few designers who, उनका काम मैं magazine में देखती हूँ, तो it inspires me to do more and more good work. So I think you should keep doing the good work.
Thank you so much. It was great discussing with you, Deepti. All the best for your future. Let's work together. Let's grow together. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.